Hey guys, Toxic here, and today will be my first sort of commentary. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that I do commentary on TikTok. But for today, instead of making commentary videos about other videos, it'll be about a subject, and that subject being Cold War. And the reason why I want to talk about it is why it's so mediocre. For starters, if you think about it as an overall game, there's no really new mechanics in it aside from the zombie system, which the whole zombies games, they're basically just the normal zombies game, but Outbreak. And the overall multiplayer is kind of boring. There's nothing new in it, and it's not like Black Ops 3 when you get jetpacks, cool abilities, and things like that. And so it's basically just empty and there's nothing new in it. Not only that, the item shop is so boring. Like, you just buy stuff. It's not like where you get the excitement of buying a new box or something and hoping you get something cool in it. Now that brings me to the next thing. The skins in the game are so boring. We used to have all these cool, interactive skins and things like that. But now it's just these boring, colorful things. It's just so boring, and I'd rather use the default gun skin. And there's nothing really new in the campaign. We didn't really achieve anything in that. Yeah, you did get to make some choices, but none of them really affected the story itself. The only really thing that changed was the outcome of the story, which still didn't make that big of a deal. Just in about every new Call of Duty, they try something new with a new mechanic or new system, but in this, it's just boring and nothing. And if you follow me on Twitch, which my Twitch should be on the screen right here, you should know that I play a lot of Cold War, and the only reason I play is because I enjoy the zombies. But that brings me to my next point about the zombies. The zombies is pretty fun on games like Outbreak, but the overall Die Machine and Firebase Z, I find it quite boring. The thing is about Die Machine is you feel like you have content until round 5, and then you just feel like you're running around just killing zombies, and there's no point in playing. Yeah, people try to go for high rounds like round 100, but not only that, it's just boring. There's no objectives or anything you could be doing, no more extra doors you could be buying or anything like that. To be honest, you could have everything. You could have the weapons, you could have Pack-a-Punch, wonder weapons, and everything by round 6. Not to mention how easy it is and how high rounds are so easy, and it's not like a challenge to get around 100 and it's some cool achievement or anything. It's just, oh cool, I got round 100, that was kind of easy. And now let's talk about Outbreak. So how I saw Outbreak when it first came out was like a Battle Royale version of zombies. And some of you who played Warzone back in October might know about the Zombie Royale thing that went on. And so here's how essentially I say it. You drop into a map, you collect loot, and you survive. So that's basically what a Battle Royale is. But it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's good. I do get my fill of joy out of it, but without consistency, the map gets kind of boring. And I think it's an extremely good thing they released Sanatorium the time that they did, because people were getting kind of annoyed, especially me, with how kind of repetitive it felt. And I had to like do challenges when I'm there, like, oh, I can only use snipers, or I can't reload or anything, just to make it fun. So now that there's a new map, it actually might be some more fun. So I kind of feel like, aside from the zombies, they didn't really want to try anything new, because in most games, yeah, it's really much of a gamble, because it's like, if I try something new, the community might hate it, but if I don't, they'll think it's boring. So they just went with it's gonna be boring. Which, I mean, I'm glad it could be worse, but it's just kind of in that middle of, there's kind of no new content, and it's just the same repetitive game. Like, I only really play Cold War for the zombies. I also feel like the overall game is kind of empty, because in games like Black Ops 3 and other older games like Ghosts and things like that, I can go back and play them, and it feels like, I don't know, it feels like there's a whole game there. In this, it just feels like it's like a puzzle. It's like, we first got the first piece when it came out, and they're slowly adding on to it, which it'll probably be a decently good game by the end, but right now it's not really much fun. And yes, by the end of the game, there'll probably be a new Call of Duty. But then again, Treyarch did say they're probably going to continue updating this game for a couple of years. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll just see later. Now let's talk about the campaign. Now, like I said earlier, yeah, it's cool and all that you can make your own choices and stuff like that, but overall, the campaign felt pretty boring. I was able to complete it in an hour, and then go back and do it again in an hour and a half, so that just shows how empty the kind of campaign is. And not only that, I was able to complete it in an hour and do Easter eggs with it. Now I'm going to give you some actual reasons why the campaign's kind of boring. So instead of talking about the Cold War campaign, I'm going to talk about other campaigns to compare it to. Some of my favorite campaigns were games like Call of Duty Ghosts and Black Ops 3. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't say Black Ops 3 is one of my favorites, but they actually tried something new. For starters, they tried the whole boss fight idea, where you had to fight each of the traitor Black Ops, and they all had different things. Like, one of them you had to fight a giant ship, and the other one you had to fight a mech. One of them you had to do tasks while they were trying to shoot you. They tried cool ideas like that. And then there's Call of Duty Ghosts, which the overall campaign was badass, and you got cool emotional attachments to all the characters, and it's overall probably the best campaign of all Call of Duty. That's just my opinion, though. Not only that, it's just the Cold War campaign just kind of feels like really meh, if you ask me. There's no, aside from the choice picking, there's nothing really new or exciting about it. And the overall Black Ops story plot hasn't really changed much. Now, for the Call of Duty 2021, here's what we know about it, and probably why it's probably going to be better than Cold War. For starters, it's going to be free to play. Usually when ever Activision releases a free to play game, it's going to be a lot different than the rest. Examples like being Call of Duty Mobile and Warzone. Not to mention the publishers are going to be Sledgehammer Games, and they usually try something different whenever they make a game. Example, they were the first ones to use the jetpacks, and they made the World War II game, which was full of plenty of new things. Like, you can watch people open supply drops in front of you, there was a 2D perspective and everything. You could have those little matches in the 1v1 yard. And as an overall game, that one was kind of meh too, but it had a lot of cool things about it, and it was definitely better than Cold War. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Cold War. I mean, it wasn't a waste of money. I would say, like, I am glad that I bought it, but it could be a lot better. Now let's talk about the guns in Cold War. Now I'm going to bring up some other games, again, especially Black Ops 3, because in my honest opinion, that was the perfect Call of Duty, except for the campaign. BO3, it had good guns you could have fun with, and it's not like there was like one really good gun and the rest just sucked, and everyone would hate you if you used that one gun. But all the guns were good in this. But versus Cold War, it's just, we have a good sniper and a bad sniper. We have an okay assault rifle and the rest are trash. It's just rather, it has really broken and shouldn't exist guns or crappy guns. So you have to really choose, am I going to use the most shitty gun in the game, or I'm going to be a jerk and use that gun that just everyone hates me for using it. So you can see my overall problem with Cold War. And to sum it all up, it's just a really, like I said earlier, meh game. It's just a baseline Call of Duty. There's not really any new mechanics or anything that makes it stand out. And they did remaster a lot of the older Call of Duty multiplayer maps, but a lot of them just aren't the same. Like Nuketown, in my opinion, I remember Nuketown, how I see it is like a bright, sunny map that's full of life, but the new one is, I don't know, like, whenever I just look at it, I just imagine the taste of sand in my mouth. It's just a disgusting map to look at. But overall, that's all I have to say about Call of Duty Cold War. But anyways, thank you for your interest, and thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.